over the real TY in his first series from Kitesy Gaming, and his NA clan is 9999 milliseconds. It's time.
And it's opponent in the bottom left, upsetting parting, we could say, in the last series, representing Mouse Sports Gaming, the German Terran player, it's HeRoMaRinE.
Man.
Guys, thank you so much. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, Big Gabe looking so big. Go on.
Yeah. Thank you so much for all of you being here. Well over 3,000 of you. That's lots and lots and lots and lots of people. We appreciate it so much. I know we don't have a full production facility behind us like the A-Stream do, but thank you for sticking with us. We love you, and we love the StarCraft we're getting to talk about.
Hey man, they gave us the B stream, and we all know that's B for best. We've got the best matches, we've got the best casters, and we've got the best joy, energy, and love going down here in the B stream. It's been so much fun to cast these games so far, and chat has almost been super supportive the entire time. It's so good to see StarCraft fans. Because I don't know if you watch any other esports, Grant, but if you watch other esports, the chat can be horrific. I mean, that's the most polite word I can say. And the worst we get in StarCraft chat is like, oh hey guys, you missed one drop over here, but it's okay. We saw it all happen. Just keep an eye on the minimap. Like that's the worst we ever get. It's phenomenal. I love StarCraft. There's a reason that I've dedicated my professional life to this community.
Yeah. In terms of this game so far, we can see time to go for the quicker expansion. HeRoMaRiNE's actually still not throwing that down yet. Looks like he'll be going for that pretty shortly. He may even go for the starport beforehand and be very aggressively. It will be the expansion. So it is the expansion after the factory here for HeRoMaRiNE, meaning that any aggression that were to come his way will be dealt with, of course, by a Hellion or two. You can see Time is now getting his factory, so that's really the only difference. Gas timings here were quicker because he was going for that higher tech earlier.
Yeah, exactly. And Time's being cautious here. It's funny. In Time versus TY, Time really didn't scout until game number 3. And in this game, he did send the SCV across, but hasn't scouted since then. So it doesn't have any additional information. And HeRoMaRiNE, HeRoMaRiNE is going to go ahead and push here. With that early factory, he must feel very confident that he's going to be able to get something out. And we see the first Hellion just now coming out for Time. HeRoMaRiNE may have a chance to strike while the iron's hot here. The bunker's down, but of course he can just ride right on by that bunker if he wants to.
Yeah, there's the potential to get a couple of workers, but what HeRoMaRiNE doesn't know is what's on the high ground. And a couple of Marines and the Reaper here, it's a lot of risk for not too much reward right now if HeRoMaRiNE were to push in. Right now he is just looking seemingly for a contain to make sure no units are able to get out, so he can trap things like this Reaper. There we go. He's not going to commit to anything. He just wants to know what's happening, when it's happening, as he powers up at home. We can see the starport finishing up here, a Cyclone coming in to deal with any drop shenanigans. Is the Cyclone really going to go across the map? Wow, it is. Okay, so now Gabe's lining up a little bit more aggressively.
Yeah, this is a very aggressive early game contain. I mean, we're going to see, we're at 4 minutes into the game here, and HeRoMaRiNE is already moving every single unit he has all the way across the map, which is a little surprising. He went for the late CC on the low ground, which does mean he has to be a little bit riskier in this play because he knows he's going to be slightly behind on workers. But, it's very rare to see a Terran player commit to like a soft contain like this so early in the game.
Yeah, definitely. But I like it here from Gabe. Behind this, you can see he is starting to produce a lot of units. And what has Time not been able to do? See anything. Doesn't know this drop's coming. Has no idea what's happening right now. And this is great because HeRoMaRiNE is bringing a tank. He's bringing 4 more Marines and really ramping up this pressure. I wouldn't be surprised to see Gabe throw down a third CC, maybe behind this. I'm not certain which way he is going to go with it, as TVT's not my best matchup. We do see now, though, just as Time overcommits, the tank now comes in, and that means this bunker's going to begin being shelled upon. The Cyclone will lock on, and that Cyclone spell does a lot of damage. The tank isn't in range to also get the workers, but it looks like the bunker will go down here, Creighton.
It will, and this is something we talked about earlier. Preparation. These players have had 3 or 4 days now to size up their opponents, to read their views, and this looks to me like HeRoMaRiNE has identified a weakness in Time's builds here. Time fails to scout very often, and that means he's able to move in here and already take an army supply advantage of about 8 units ahead of time. He's able to get into this natural and start picking down some SCVs, trading as best he can. Only 1 SCV goes down, the Raven out to drop the auto turn here, but Time is really under a lot of pressure, and HeRoMaRiNE has not lost that much.
Yeah, very nice of HeRoMaRiNE to save those units with a medevac as well. He's now going to keep using that medevac for air control. He's stopping any gases being taken. HeRoMaRiNE has not thrown down a third CC at home. He's actually continuing to commit to this with more and more units coming across the map. And I'm not sure I love that, because I do feel like with the tank on the ramp and the Viking here, that Time isn't going to die anytime soon. He has a Raven. Did he make another one? It doesn't look like it. Okay.
Just the one. Yeah, just the one, but HeRoMaRiNE's making a second Raven behind this as well, which does mean he's going to be able to drop the interference matrix on these tanks. If it gets to that point, auto turn's going down here. Auto turn, focus fire down the all the SCVs from Time getting pulled off here. Some huge tank shots we got on the SCVs here. Nice Reaper grenades right now. I'm not sure if Time's going to be able to hold this. The tank on the ramp's still up, though.
Yeah, so Time does end up holding on, but he loses a lot of workers, and now Gabe does have the worker lead. He sent the rest of his reinforcements home. In terms of resources lost here, we can see HeRoMaRiNE loses a little more. He has his tank count reset as well, but Time wasn't really producing that many tanks in this time period. And I'd say the game sort of resetting to a relatively even point, with HeRoMaRiNE maybe taking a slight lead.
Yeah, it's really tough to call because, of course, Time has that third base already finished up. The orbital command moving over to take its position at the third right now. So while Time is a little behind on workers, he's been producing workers 3 at a time for a lot longer. HeRoMaRiNE just finishes up the CC on the low ground here, and it still has to turn into orbital, still has to float across. This is going to be a very, very interesting game. HeRoMaRiNE, though, being very aggressive in the early game. If he'd sniped that tank, that may have been a very different outcome. That was on a knife's edge there, Grant.
There's one Marine from Time. We'll see the push of HeRoMaRiNE once again. Time does have his third in position, but he needs to move all of his tanks and things down in order to stay safe. You can see tank production is ramping up for both of these players. Upgrades do favour Time, and the worker count is now swung in Time's favour. Having this third already done and in position is very nice here. We do see interference matrix go down. None of the tanks are sieged up. Turrets fighting turrets. Who wins? Who knows? Right now, Gabe has been forced to siege up in a position a little bit further from where he would like. And I think Time is okay here. I can't see Time getting broken.
Yeah, there's a very significant advantage for Time, and that's the Marine count. Until that push happened, when that push happened, HeRoMaRiNE had about 7 Marines there. He lost all of them, and is back down to just 5, and with no Marines to support that tank push, that means as soon as something gets on top of the tanks, they got to vamoose out of there because they are going to go down. So HeRoMaRiNE very wisely reading that situation and saying, I've got no Marines. I'm in a good position, taking out one of Time's tanks. Time has lost 2 tanks now, or pardon me, 1 tank, but HeRoMaRiNE's still ahead on tank count, 5-3. But even with that tank advantage, I think HeRoMaRiNE realizing with no Marines there, I just can't break that, and wisely retreating, getting his third base set up. But now Time is ahead 5 workers, and the income is going to stay in his favor for a little while.
Yeah, Time was producing 3 SCVs for a little bit longer than HeRoMaRiNE. He's only now really ramping up that production to catch up with Time. In terms of how things are going, let's take a look at the upgrades. Now here, Time's 1-1 is done, and he is moving across the map. How far off are HeRoMaRiNE's? And okay, it will be finished in time, so there is no window there. Time's army supply, though, is quite a lot higher, and actually this push from Time, if he is decisive and finds a position, he can certainly get something done here.
One little thing to note here, check this out. We've got no combat shields for either player, which means these Marines are much squishier, meaning that every tank is going to be much more valuable in this fight. The tank count's still 2 in favor of HeRoMaRiNE, and with this Defender's advantage, it's going to be difficult for these Marines to get on top of the tanks for our German Terran player. There we go, interference makes sure goes down, and Time moves in, Grant.
2 tanks immediately going down right now. Time finding an angle, and he's already split the natural here. And the third, HeRoMaRiNE's army is so far from where it wants to be, and look at all these workers, just lambs to the slaughter. Finally, we see a push in as the tanks of Time will go down, but Time is up 60 army supply to 30. He's going to go for it. He's pushing into so many tanks, though. Oh my god, the Marines evaporate. HeRoMaRiNE will hold.
This is exactly what we were just talking about. You know, Marines are great, but with no combat shields, with only +1, they are going to absolutely evaporate under those tanks. So at the beginning of the game, Time had his tank sieged up a bit before HeRoMaRiNE did, which means that HeRoMaRiNE's Marine core, his bio core, completely destroyed. Then, as HeRoMaRiNE swept in the back on the interference matrix seed tank, that tank went down, the second tank went down, and then it was mostly Marines for Time versus tanks for HeRoMaRiNE. And of course, the second half of that fight going way in HeRoMaRiNE's favor. It all comes down to the tanks there. Now combat shield is finished, which means these Marines are a bit sturdier, and I like HeRoMaRiNE's defense a little bit better. Time, of course, with that 4th base down, though, still ahead on workers.
Yeah, Time's behind us. His macro's been impeccable. He's got 2-2 on the way about the same time, but he has ship weapons coming quicker than that of his opponent. We see both players currently seem to... Oh no, it's just Time loading up some drops here, looking to start hitting multiple angles and look for some damage. Let's see if he can find something. There is a center tower. Okay, the north side has been spotted by a couple of spotter Marines, and the south side will be seen by the center tower. Is there anything in position? Yeah, plenty. Nice defense by HeRoMaRiNE.
Yeah, and this is, this is one of those beautiful things about StarCraft where you can't just win on good micro. You can't just win on good macro. At the highest levels of play, your map awareness has to be tip-top. Your scouting has to be incredible. Your game sense has to be great. Your transitions from one tech to another, your reads on your opponent, everything just has to line up. And especially in TVT, if one single error in any of those areas occurs, you're just going to be in a lot of trouble. And HeRoMaRinE actually getting very close. Okay, good scan from HeRoMaRinE to save those full medevacts. He can't do that drop right now because Time is pushing yet again.
Yeah, Time is now looking for some damage. He is up 10 army supply. His 2-2 is going to be done very shortly, but the ship weapons, that is the advantage right now. The good thing is he doesn't really have many tanks. The tanks on the low ground, though, are dishing out so much damage over here on the units furthest to the right. You can see, actually, it looks like Time has the better concave. He's going to be able to get on top of some of these tanks. So many medevacs here, just keeping his Marines barely alive. The base will be fired upon. A good fight there for Time, I think, but Gabe will be able to push him back as his tanks are finally shelled down.
Interestingly, we see a lot of big fights happen in this game, but that one actually a little bit in favor of HeRoMaRinE. I think if you look at the army graph, you can see that it was a little less efficient for Time. It did seem the entire time like Time was pushing in to HeRoMaRinE in an advantageous position. I'm not sure how HeRoMaRinE won that one. I'm going to have to rewatch the replays, but those tanks in the low ground definitely doing a lot of great damage for Time. But now HeRoMaRinE slightly out of position. He's going to depend on these tanks to defend his third base, but I don't think Time will break in here either.
No, there's so many tanks for HeRoMaRinE, and Time right now is sitting at only 4. Gabe up to 7, and that's after losing a couple as well. We do have a nice split here from Time. He's trying to lower that tank count. He knows that's where he's weakest right now. Gets as well a couple of medevacs. Getting the center tower is not going to happen, but it could have been nice. Now, Time is still up in supply, but it's so little supply, as he does bring the rest of the boys from across the map right now. All the reinforcements coming.
Wow, that's really great. These little plays make all the difference in StarCraft 2, and Time sending 4 Marines down south because he knows he can pick off a tank if he gets close to it are just clutch plays. The tank count still in HeRoMaRiNE's favor, and he is defending, which means he's got defender's advantage. This can be very difficult for Time to do, and Time actually losing a few tanks here, being a bit too aggressive. I like that HeRoMaRiNE's defending now. HeRoMaRiNE's 4th base is up. His worker count almost even here. The income spiking in HeRoMaRiNE's favor because he's had more orbital commands go down. I think Time's been scanning a bit more. Man, this is still anybody's game, but so far, both players are putting on a hell of a good show, Grant.
Yeah, worker count dead even. Upgrades, though, soon to be favouring Time further. 3-3 is about the same. Actually, with Time with a slight lead in terms of the bio, but he's getting +2 ship weapons. Gabe hasn't... Oh, Gabe does have +1, okay. But he hasn't started his +2, so the upgrade advantage will go to Time in about 30-40 seconds time. No, there is a big difference, actually, in 3-3. In terms of the bio, I didn't quite see it because my eyesight sucks, but yeah, right now it does look like Time could have a window here, Grayson. What do you think?
I think there's going to be a big window for Time. He's even scanning here. Check this out. He's going to see the tanks packing up. HeRoMaRinE moving up to the main base. Maybe he suspects big drop play. Sometimes if you see a player retreat from your third base and you're like, wait a minute, where did you go? At least when it happens to me in my games, it does mean there's a fleet of medevacs coming into the main base. HeRoMaRinE rotating around just to be safe here. He does have adding on some more missile turrets just to be safe, but yeah, you're absolutely correct. I think what Time needs to do is wait for he's got that +2 vehicle weapons finished up. His 3-3 is way ahead of HeRoMaRinE, and if he hits with a 3-3 timing, he could be in really, really good shape, but I'm not sure if he's got enough scouting information to know that HeRoMaRinE is way behind. This is one of those odd games where we as viewers have perfect information, but the players are in the dark, figuratively and literally, about what their opponent's upgrades look like, and it would be a brilliant read from Time if he was able to tell that HeRoMaRinE wasn't able to squeeze out that 3-3.
Yeah, Time's 3-3 finishing up right now, and I'm interested to go. Gabe's going to push into him. Gabe, you don't want to do this. Now, if I know Time and players of his caliber, they've already clicked on their opponent's Marines to see the upgrade. Oh my god, do not click through this choke right now. Oh, Gabe, this is so ballsy. A few Marines come up, they'll go down pretty quickly. Time has that upgrade advantage, as we said, and he has about another 30 seconds before that is taken away from him. But he also has ship weapons. He's right now, he's up 3 upgrades, yeah. But Time is playing defensively.
Yeah, that was actually a better engagement for HeRoMaRinE than it should have been. Those line of sight blockers really paying off for his sieged up tanks in the background. They couldn't be attacked by the Marines because the Marines couldn't quite see over the ridge. His Vikings had zoned Time out a little bit. Really nice micro there from HeRoMaRinE, but Time's 5th base is down now, which means that HeRoMaRinE is down one entire base. It is a planetary fortress already, which means it's going to be very difficult to break, and we can see these Vikings from Time trying to do what they can to push back the siege tank lines from HeRoMaRinE. We might see players both digging in here like it's the Battle of the Bulge.
Yeah, but Time has 3 Ravens, HeRoMaRinE has none, and guess what? That means no tanks right now for Gabe, as a few of them go down. We're going to see a big anti-armor. All of the tanks right now from HeRoMaRinE are so vulnerable, but can Time get on top of him? It doesn't look like he's going to be able to. Oh, so close right now. Time is still taking slightly better fights. He now has complete air control too, and that is what we're going to see as the tanks move forward. Gabe, you need to unsiege your tanks. You need to back off right now. Marine's looking for an angle.
How is HeRoMaRinE still in this game? It seems like every fight, Time almost breaks him. HeRoMaRinE holds on, and he's still almost even on that army supply. The upgrades have now normalized, and Gabe in a defensive position means his reinforcements will be here. But man, this game just seems to be going super well for Time, but somehow HeRoMaRiNE's still in it. This is incredible.
Yeah, the German players, you just can't break them down. They're just so good. You can see how many tanks there currently are. There's not much energy. Did 2 of the Vikings go down? A couple of Vikings did go down, but they are being remade here. We're even getting building armor coming in right now here from Time, who behind this is just starting to really pull ahead with his upgrades. He has ship armor as well, or vehicle armor. So the upgrades on his tanks are much stronger than that of HeRoMaRiNE's. Bio dead even, both players have 3-3, and we do have a bit of a fight right now, Creighton.
Cheeky move from HeRoMaRiNE, trying to move up the north side to break this tank position of Time.
Oh,
right now, HeRoMaRiNE losing
man.
all of his Marines, though, jumping into huge siege tank fire. So HeRoMaRiNE was trying to move around the north side of the map to surprise Time with a bit of a pincer move and maybe get his Marines on top of some unsieged tanks as Time repositioned. But Time was able to see that coming, re-sieged his tanks in time, and HeRoMaRiNE just threw away a huge chunk of Marines. He's down to just 26 Marines to 11 tanks right now. Time taking a tank lead for the first time, I think, in the game.
Yeah, this is what Time's been looking for, is he was able to take down a few of those tanks. And now he's gone into the stage of the game where, as a Terran player, you're very comfortable. You really want to have Liberators. I say that as a Liberator goes down. Nice move there from Gabe to push it down and save its units. Because when you have Liberators, especially if you're ahead, you can move forward. You can move forward a little bit quicker. You've got 2 siegeable units to move forward with, and it stops you being pushed into as your tanks are unsieged. And right now we can see Time taking a great position. Oh my god, these tanks are about to rain fire down on this army. So many Vikings in the air as well, taking down the Raven. Yep, and Time pulls further ahead.
Man, I don't know if you want to look at the units lost tab right now. Time has lost 7 Ravens. HeRoMaRiNE has lost 4, and they're both reproducing Ravens 2 at a time. They're clearly reading Twitch chat, Grant, and learning from those Twitch chat GMs that Ravens are clearly the best unit in the game. A big fight going down. HeRoMaRiNE, though, I think is just going to crumble under the pressure here. He's going to be forced back, and one more tank going down, but losing 12 workers is the true victory there for Time, regardless of what happened with the tank count.
Yeah, right now Time knows he can't push into a planetary without bringing all of his reinforcements together. He is up 30 supply, 11 workers, and 20 army supply as well. And he's just looking right now, how can he end the game? You can see he's taken the base to the very north and the base to the southeast. They're bases that Gabe does not have. 2 tanks disabled, goodbye to them, they go down. More tanks going down, and these are the units that Gabe needs so desperately. Gabe is going for it. He's going to go for a desperation move and try and take this fight here, but there's just too much from Time. Time takes the victory. Time will lead the series and 1 map away from advancing first in the group.
Man, that was a gorgeous pas de deux. Both players pushing back and forth, dancing around each other, checking on the upgrades, rotating their tech appropriately. Mad props to both of the players there. I loved what HeRoMaRiNE was doing early in the game. I wish we could have seen him close it out. I'm a big Gabe fan myself, but man, Time coming up out of nothing from a couple years ago, really showing his worth here in this game. And man, if you can get out of a group with HeRoMaRiNE and TY first, that
and
is
parting!
and not even to mention parting. He might be able to dodge parting here if he wins this one, but dang, Time really showing us that he is a fantastic player.
Yeah, in terms of his TVT right now, it's been amazing. We are getting into our game 2 very shortly, guys. Thank you for sticking with us here. We really appreciate it. It will not be long as the players are ready. No downtime here on the B stream. And Creighton, do you think HeRoMaRiNE can bring it back? He did in his first series. He lost the first map, won the second 2.
Well, I was going to say, Grant, if we got a theme going in the B stream, it's not only are we having these great games that are going to mid to long game, we also have best of 3s going to game 3. I'd hate to see that tradition broken, so we're going to be cheering for HeRoMaRiNE to bring us, if not just for himself, for all the fans and viewers out there, to bring it to a game number 3. Let's hop straight in.
Oh, yes.
Spawning in the top right-hand side of Ice and Chrome, LE in the blue, representing Kitesy Gaming. It is our Chinese player, Time.
And his opponent in the bottom left-hand side of Ice and Chrome, playing for Master Sports. He is the red Terran player from Germany. It's HeRoMaRiNE.
So Grant, if you had the chance to be HeRoMaRiNE's coach, if you were the Mouse Sports StarCraft 2 esports coach and you were somehow better than HeRoMaRiNE and he listened to you for advice, is there anything you can remind him of this game that might help keep him salty, keep him fresh here in game number 2?
I don't know. The games at the moment have massively come down to the battles in the air. And I think Gabe should maybe focus a little bit more on that. There are a few stages at the game where he was down Vikings and down Ravens, and it meant he wasn't able to really take any convincing fights. But honestly, I don't know. Time's not making many mistakes particularly. Sometimes he might overcommit a little, but never game-ending mistakes. And I honestly don't know what I would say to HeRoMaRiNE if I was in his spot right now. I don't know.
I mean, for starters, I know I would say, can I please have your autograph? And then after that, no, I think you're absolutely correct, Grant. He, you know, some StarCraft games are marked by mistakes. Some StarCraft games end and we say, oh man, what a huge blunder from X player. They could have done this one simple thing. All Terrans hate him, and he could have done this one simple thing to win the game. Just straight up did not do that. Last game that we saw, and in fact, I think every game we've seen today has been marked just by exceptional play. Both players putting on a hell of a show and just trying to keep up with their opponent who's putting it all on the line. I really can't fault either player, and I think there's no advice we can give. Just play your best game and keep it up for game 2. We see the Reaper Scout coming across from HeRoMaRiNE, and both players going for the factory behind that. Time again going for command center into factory. HeRoMaRiNE again going factory into command center. Grant, do you think HeRoMaRiNE's going to go for that really unusual contain we saw in game number 1 again?
It did work against Time Style. HeRoMaRiNE managed to keep him contained for a long time, and it was pretty decent. I'm not sure if he'll commit as heavily as he did, bringing the tank and the medevac across and everything like that. May even try to pretend he's doing the same thing by bringing the units across and then play very greedy behind it. But I'm curious here, actually, how Gabe will mix it up, because Gabe's start to that last game was good. He just couldn't close it. And Time seems to be the one so far that is better at closing. And if Clayton, you taught me anything, it's A, B, C. A always B, B, C closing.
Did you ever watch that clip, Grant?
No.
You monster. Good start here from HeRoMaRiNE, who does get a Reaper into the main base. Picks off the other Reaper of Time. Time actually does not have anything right now in the main base. There's nothing here.
Oh, this is a huge mistake from Time right now. The Reaper goes down. He doesn't have any units. This could be game ending right now for Time. He's going to lose so many SCVs. And in a mirror matchup, they're actually trying to repair one another, but they're going to get blown away. Another Reaper joins the fray. A couple of Hellions finally come out. The 5 workers going down. Gabe is loving life. That is a huge mistake. You cannot let that Hellion in. 5 workers are traded now for 1 Hellion and 2 Reapers. Perfect start there for Gabe.
Dear Lord, that was terrifying. HeRoMaRiNE with 2 Reapers and a Hellion doing more damage than we saw in the first 5 minutes of the previous game until he really put on that push. So our question has been answered, I guess. He's definitely not going for the same contain this game. He was just going to turn the screws on Time. Yeah. So now I think a lot of people are like, wait a minute, it's only 5 workers. It's not that many. But remember, not only is 5 workers a huge percentage of your starting worker count, it's also 5 workers in the early game. The longer a worker is on the field, the more valuable it is. So killing 10 workers 30 seconds before the end of the game is nowhere near as efficient as killing 10 workers in the opening 5 minutes of a game. And the early damage combined with the early income lead it's going to give HeRoMaRiNE is going to be huge. But Time is looking to put some counter pressure on here with 6 Hellions screaming across the map to HeRoMaRiNE's natural.
Yeah, there is a Cyclone here. There's a good amount of Marines, and there will be a tank out in Time. HeRoMaRiNE, though, has a Banshee, and it's not cloaked. It is just an aggressive Banshee to move down to the natural, and there's nothing currently to defend against this. What HeRoMaRiNE needs to focus on right now is not taking damage, and the tank just outside of the, just next to the natural, will make sure that doesn't happen. Cyclone will lock on and get one of these Hellions, and already his pressure has kind of lost its buzz. Now, the Liberator, though, is the real threat in the natural. It's going to get 3 workers. That's a good start here for Time, but he doesn't want to take any damage. HeRoMaRiNE's actually just pulled his Banshee back a little bit. He's checking the tower. I'm surprised he's not committing with his Banshee. It's already out on the map. The best bet is to go. Oh, it's going to get seen.
I don't know if he parked it there on purpose because he knew the Hellions would try to take the Selnaga Watchtower. He's doing a little bit of damage as his Hellions retreat. The Banshee is seen, but the Cyclones are there to snipe him behind this. This is great play from HeRoMaRiNE. My God, killing 3 Hellions with just the Banshee Scout. Look at this. He is moving across once again. HeRoMaRiNE looking to put more pressure on Time.
Yeah, and he's done a decent job so far. You can see he is up already 15 supply, and it is almost entirely an army. What is the tank count looking at? HeRoMaRinE has the 2 tanks to the 1. He still has the Banshee. He has a couple of Vikings, which are going to be massive, and he doesn't have a Raven. Okay, so that is the difference here. The Banshee has replaced the Raven for HeRoMaRinE. He's bringing a couple of SCVs actually to possibly throw down bunkers. Or we see the push up the ramp right now. Cyclones locking onto one another. The Banshee is going to be used to zone here. The Banshee very, very good against the tanks. Behind this gate has got a 3rd command center on the way, being built currently in his main. So he just wants to contain and try and get ahead economically.
This is a fantastic push from HeRoMaRinE. He's even got his SCVs repairing each other up in the background so they can keep these tanks and Cyclones alive. Cyclones with the dart forward. You're getting 1 tank shot, but they are going to get locked onto the bunker. And that means the bunker's not going to last very long. The tank should be able to get 1 more shot off. There we go. The bunker goes down. There are 2 tanks out for time right now. And as you said, the Raven out for time could be a big difference. But the Banshee out for HeRoMaRinE also going to add a lot of DPS and a lot of zoning potential. This game may be won by the air units, not the ground units. HeRoMaRinE goes in, Brent.
Yeah, HeRoMaRinE has so much right now. Works being pulled off the line. You've been pulled off the line into 3 tanks and landed Vikings. Look at the number 4. Gabe pushing in, looking for retribution after that game 1, and he will find it as he doubles the supply. GG, we're going to map 3.
Yes! I'm so glad I wasn't on camera at the end of that game, Grant. I did a big fist pump in my chair, and I almost fell over backwards because my chair leans back much further than I thought it was going to. HeRoMaRinE with the early game pressure. Again, unseating time here. We're going to see another game 3. Now, Grant, this looks like HeRoMaRinE has prepared a lot against time. It seems like he's doing these builds that time is just not ready for. The contain in game 1 and that early mid-game push in game 2 almost look like they're custom tailored to fight against a player who plays a little greedy and doesn't scout.
Yeah, I completely agree, Creighton. The game was very, very close there, but HeRoMaRinE he was much more aggressive and much more controlling in that game. And he just managed to get a little bit too much. And I expect we will see something relatively similar in the next game, as we do wait for Submarine to be our next map.
Absolutely. I'd be honestly a bit surprised if HeRoMaRinE stayed back and played it cool here in Game 3. If he got up to an early 3rd CC, if he just teched up... Oh, Grant, I've lost your video connection. Did you turn off your camera?
I'll come straight back.
All right, good.
Yeah.
I was worried we'd lost you there for a moment. But yeah, I'd be really surprised if HeRoMaRinE went to like an early 3rd CC build and suddenly tried to macro his way into a super late game advantage. It seems like this early pressure is really paying off for him. Even though he didn't win game 1, his early pressure put him ahead, and in game 2, of course, we saw that push. Beautifully done. Game 3 now getting started, Grant. Grant, what does your gut say? HeRoMaRinE or time?
Time.
You're going with time.
Yeah.
Explain your answer in 50 words or fewer.
My gut tells me.
Nailed it. Exactly correct.
That's it.
Rock and roll. Well, time and HeRoMaRinE here. Game 3 is coming at us, guys. Oh, and I'm finally starting to wake up a bit, Grant. It's, oh my god, it's almost 12 o'clock noon.
Okay, Creighton, we are into it. We are ready. How are you feeling? Are you prepared for this Game 3?
As prepared as I'm ever going to be. Who's our first player, Grant?
In the bottom right, he is the Chinese Terran representing Kaisi Gaming. He is. In the red, it's time.
And his opponent. In the top left, he's known as Paul Bunyan in America. But over in Germany, they just call him Big Gabe. From Mouse Sports, it's our German Terran player, HeRoMaRinE.
Who's Paul Bunyan?
You don't know who Paul Bunyan is?
No.
Oh, Grant, I've got some child literature to send you. Paul Bunyan is an American folk hero of the Pacific Northwest. He's apparently
a giant lumberjack.
Yes, a giant lumberjack with a big blue ox named Babe. The best story about Paul Bunyan, you know what American pancakes are, right?
Yeah, wrong.
The best story is that apparently Paul Bunyan wanted some pancakes one morning, so all the other normal-sized lumberjacks had to get a giant skillet out, and then they put pads of butter on their feet and skated across the hot skillet to butter it so that you could put the pancake batter in. And that always, to me, seemed like the best thing in the world, to skate on a hot skillet with butter attached to your shoes so that you could make a giant pancake. So I feel like the American version of Big Gabe is Paul Bunyan.
Yeah, it
for
works.
sure.
Yeah. This time it looks like Gabe once again going for that factory before his expansion. He seems to be very, very keen on it, whereas Time is much more into his reactor fast expand here, down on the low ground. So Time has always had the slightly better economy in the earlier stages of the game, but Gabe's having more units, and he's been managing to snowball that pretty well. Even in game 1, which Gabe did end up losing, he did get the better of the early parts of the game. He just couldn't close it in the end, and Time was a little bit more decisive. So...
You know what's really interesting is in the first series against TY, Time didn't really scout at all. He only sent that SCV scout in game 3. He played games 1 and 2 blind, and up against Gabe, he's been SCV scouting consistently every single game. He's gotten that SCV across. He's checked out the factory going down first. He's known what the build is going to be the entire time. And somehow it hasn't paid off for him. He's seen this aggression potentially coming, and somehow, amazingly, still has not been able to push against this early pressure from Gabe. And again, even though Gabe lost an SCV there, we're going to see him pumping out, whoa, not just two Reapers, but 4.
Yeah. Okay, so Gabe is looking to snowball this game nice and early. It's very important right now that we see the add-ons come down. Time cannot be too greedy. He needs to make a couple of units right now. Okay, his reactor finishing here, and he will start beginning to produce a couple of Marines at a time. But the problem is Time doesn't have any idea what he's playing against. We see a few units coming up the ramp right now, the Reapers as well, trying to get a bit of information, see what the factory's doing. No. Cyclone does come out, this is nice. Oh, but already, actually, the better of the fight does go towards HeRoMaRinE. The Marines popping out will dissuade him for now. The Cyclone is the right choice, I believe, here, to lock on and take down his units one at a time. But he needs to keep producing Marines. He cannot be too greedy with workers right now.
Yeah, he built that second barracks in the main base to be prepared for this, and he's very lucky that HeRoMaRinE didn't continue his push there. I think those Reapers might have been able to stay alive with some fancy micro tricks, and HeRoMaRinE coming back with even more Reapers here. 4 Reapers and 2 Hellions. Oh no! I think Time thought the aggression was over. He's gonna lose all these SCVs in his natural. Oh no, Brand.
Okay, 3 go down. He does manage to save just a couple. Another Reaper going down here. What is Time doing? He's getting Stim, he's getting his starport, he's swapping over. I just don't know if I like that right now, not having that add-on. I would have gone for maybe one more unit here. Time, I guess, knows he has to cut corners because he lost a good few workers. At the other side of the map, though, he did manage to get in with the Reaper and see a little bit. He saw how few workers were down there on the natural, and that's an important tell. Bunker coming up. Time knows what he needs right now. He has to defend, because Gabe is up in army supply by 8. That is a good 66% over what his opponent has. Ish, I can't do math. Tank on the way, this is smart. Stim is on the way. We do have the 2 racks producing units. And this is, I think Time is okay right now if he can just do well and get that bunker up. I can't see the bunker getting broken straight away. Yeah, oh my god, putting that low health SCV on the bunker is risky.
Very risky indeed. And bunker will finish up there. That should dissuade HeRoMaRinE just a little bit, but it's important to note HeRoMaRinE not 100% all in here in this game by any stretch of the imagination. He's still making SCVs back home. He does have his natural orbital command finish up. He's still making tanks, of course.
Second Cyclone.
Yeah, he's still not 100% all in. These Cyclones are going to be able to break this bunker very quickly. The bunker should go down despite the repair. Yes, it's going to get broken. Oh my god, it's not. There it is. Broken.
Finally.
HeRoMaRinE goes in.
Yeah, enough has gone down, though, to dissuade HeRoMaRinE for now. And Time is still up in workers. But the main thing for Time is his upgrade. Stim has not started for HeRoMaRinE. No bio upgrades have started for HeRoMaRinE. 3rd CC from Time. Oh my god, you big bald bonjour. He is properly going to greed it out, knowing that he has defended this pressure. Now that he has a couple of tanks, there's no real risk of more damage, except for this drop coming in the main right now.
But it's already responded to. He's got the Cyclone and the Viking here. There's no way this drop goes down. Very nice defense by Time. He read HeRoMaRinE like a book there. HeRoMaRinE did the same thing he's done in previous games. He was like, oh, okay, you got me. I'm going to retreat. Everything's okay. Dum. And then, bam, drop into the main, surprising the crap out of him. Time has figured this out, defended very well, and now HeRoMaRiNE's forced to go back home with no 3rd CC on the way. It looks like HeRoMaRiNE is going to be put in that awkward position where he has to do damage, or else he's just straight up behind in this game.
Yeah, I completely concur with you there. We can see the 3rd CC almost done right now. Gabe has started his in the natural, so it doesn't have to fly quite as far. But Time's army is much stronger. Stim is done. Stim has not yet started for the German player. It has started, sorry, but it's very barely started. Oh my god, Time, you're so brave. This is going to get seen, though. Is he just looking for a flank? No, he's going to come home. Good idea. Time knows right now that he is ahead if he doesn't take any damage. And if he can find more damage, he's probably in a game-winning position. The Viking doing a lot of work here. Look at how much damage his tanks are getting done. finally, the Cyclone going down. Actually, HeRoMaRinE was a little bit sloppy with that. He stuck around way too long. Lost Cyclones he didn't need to lose. And behind this, it looks like the third is starting to become an orbital. Double eBay's coming down, but there is a bounty in the main here of time.
Absolutely, Spanchi going to force a lot of lost money here. The Vikings will clean it out. There's no cloak available for Spanchi, so he's just going to try and commit here. Only 3 kills, 4 kills. Not great focus fire from HeRoMaRinE. Look at that, there are 3 SCVs at half health. That could have been 1 more free SCV kill, but 4, still not too bad. I think HeRoMaRinE wanted to hit at the same times there, where his army was outside the natural and his Banshee was in the main. Unfortunately, just timed that out a little bit wrong, but now it's, oh my god, 4 more SCV, yeah, sorry. And now it's, the moment has come for Time to finally be the aggressor. For the first time in 2 games, Time is going to be able to push across the map and try and put the screws to HeRoMaRinE. HeRoMaRinE's third is just finishing up. He's got a tank on the high ground, but he does not have that much left back home.
Yeah, and at the same time, Time's third is down. He's producing 3 SCVs at a time. There's lots of rats being added right now for the German player. Oh my god, Time, you are so brave! Trying to load up, but there are a lot of Vikings here. This is good information though for Time. Time at the moment only has 2 Vikings. I wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe churn out a couple of others. And oh wow, Time is now moving across with all of his units. See, this is the best thing about typing in Twitch chat. Everyone thinks the game's over, Creighton, but it's not.
It's not. It's not.
I like throwing
over.
up a bamboozle.
I feel like Gilbert Gottfried on Celebrity Squares. You fool! We've got no. All right, whatever. We got tanks on the low ground here. We got tanks on the low ground here. Those Vikings, though, doing a really nice job zoning Time out earlier. Time desperate to go for some sort of drop or something, because HeRoMaRinE is actually ahead on workers right now. He's going to move his third out. Yes, of course, that doesn't mean he's ahead on income. Time still slightly more stable.
Look at the natural of HeRoMaRinE.
Yeah,
29 workers.
Maybe
okay, finally he's going to go for the big transfer.
This is so cool. Time set up another contain. It looks like Time is finally playing his way. Just like HeRoMaRinE played before, and now the tank's on siege. Time's gonna go ahead and move into these Marines here.
Oh, this is so decisive. I love it. Time's gonna go in. He's gonna reset the tank count. He gets a few SCVs as well. Not too many, probably only 1. He doesn't want to lose his tank. Finally does save it. Very, very nice there from Time to reset that tank count, and now he is up in tanks, which is something he was previously lacking in. And I love it from Time. He's bringing more and more reinforcements out. He's trying to make sure all his units are safe. Does he bring in a couple of SCVs? I wouldn't be remiss to that, just so to get some repairs on these tanks.
No.
But Time is continuing to contain. It is a very, very soft contain at this point. As the tanks are so far back, as he is actually trying to move towards a third. We do have a stim forward right now from HeRoMaRinE, but there's just so many bio units here from Time. Supplies dead even, working count even, upgrades even.
That was actually a really nice move from HeRoMaRinE. Saw those tanks unsieged and stimmed his bio in right away to jump on top. And sniping 2 of the tanks from Time is huge from HeRoMaRinE. A really nice reaction from HeRoMaRinE, taking a bite out of the apple as soon as he saw it before it fell from the tree. Time is still with his contain, but HeRoMaRinE, now with his third established, now with a pretty even worker count. As long as he defends here, he's going to be fine because his Viking count is so much better. He can drive back medevacs. His tanks will have better range, but Time is just going to go ahead and move in here. No shame.
Yeah, Time's doing a good job right now. He's keeping the army far away and he's close to the mineral line. He has that threat at any point of just dashing in and going for 5 or 6 workers. He's not going for it. Time is just parade pushing across the map. It's insane to see. It's really not a style you see too much, to see these 1 or 2 units coming at a time. It's very, very Heart of the Swarm style. But he's just relentless with his aggression, and that's the best thing about these Chinese and Taiwanese and Hong Kong-based players, that they are relentless in their aggression. Time again, loading up a drop. He just never stops. Okay, changed his mind. He stopped. I was wrong. Behind this, Time's 4th is down. His 2-2 is at about the same time. One thing Gabe has going for him this game, which is a differ from how we've previously seen it, is he has the ship weapons, the vehicle weapons already going in. Lots of Marines getting thrown away into these tanks. He gets 1 tank, but for how many Marines? But at what cost?
But at what cost indeed, even sacking one of the Vikings there to try and drive back another medevac. Now the Viking count is still in Big Gabe's favor, but only just 3 Vikings to 2 right now, and Time's making 2 Vikings at a time. I think Time realizing maybe a bit late that Viking control, that air control, is going to be a huge factor as these armies continue to butt up against each other. The more Vikings you've got, the more air control you've got, the more vision your tanks have, the more efficiently you're going to trade here. Nice scouting abilities from HeRoMaRinE, going to see this move come in from Time. But yeah, Vikings are going to really ultimately decide this game, just like game number 1, where Time took air control and was able to really turn that into a big win. HeRoMaRinE takes some odd fights with these small companies and Marines, and nice positioning here from Time, though, on submarine.
Yeah, he's getting a couple more tanks as well, which is so great. The tanks are so important. Oh, God. Time's got a lot of bio right now. Marine count dead even, 57 to 57. Time has the extra tank. Time has an extra medevac, there's an extra Viking in favor here of HeRoMaRinE. This game could not be closer. Tank count is going to be reset a little bit. Oh my god, that tank has 6 hit points. That ain't living for much longer. One Marine.
There we go. As we said, air control is going to be so crucial in this game. As we see the army supplies dead even right now. HeRoMaRinE losing those SCVs in the last push and not repairing them, or not replacing them. Here we go. Time's going to go ahead and jump these tanks from HeRoMaRinE. Not in position. HeRoMaRine's going to take the bait though, but Time sieged up behind this with 2 tanks. I'm not sure who's going to win this. HeRoMaRiNE with 2-2 advantage over 1-1 though, Grant.
Yeah, the advantage there is so big. There was just an anti-timing. There was 20 seconds, and Gabe found it, and Gabe pounced. And now Gabe has gotten rid of the contain. He's going to move out across the map. He wants damage, probably towards this 4th base, which he knows Time is likely to have. Now it is a planetary. How many tanks are there right now? Only 3 tanks for Time. Time is going to need to make something happen right now to not take any damage.
My god, I'm doing fist pumps. I'm jumping up and down in my chair right now, Grant. This is insanely good. That 2-2 timing window was so narrow. It was like maybe 30 seconds at the most, and somehow HeRoMaRinE slipped in like a cat underneath a door, just like dislodging his spine and making his way in. Now there are some nice Marine concaves here from Time, but there are too many tags for the biggest of Gabriels. He's going to continue pushing forward. This is looking worse and worse for Time, Grant.
And all of a sudden, it looks like maybe someone that was written off to advance in this group, even at all, could advance in 1st place. HeRoMaRinE has Time up against the wall. This game will decide who advances in 1st. The loser of this match will play Parting in TY. It is an awful, awful sentence to lose this. But HeRoMaRinE has not closed it yet, and he has struggled with that in games in the not too... earlier today, and now we see HeRoMaRinE. He's the one parade pushing, bringing all of these units across the map, looking for retribution, looking for revenge. And what can Time do? His upgrades are behind. He went plus 2 ship weapons.
Yeah, now Time has been dislodged from his 4th base. He's going to go for a drop on the south side to try and distract HeRoMaRinE a little bit, I think, which is a cute little play. He's going to lose all these SCVs, though. And what I was about to say was that Time has the SCV advantage, 72-66, but we're about to see all of them getting mowed down like gangsters on St. Valentine's Day. HeRoMaRiNE's going to get distracted a little bit here, but with the no upgrade, or with no worker advantage anymore, Time doesn't have anything going for it. What I was going to say is that Time does have a slight income advantage. He had the base advantage. He's going to try and do this drop here, and actually his Marines clumped up together could do a fair amount of damage as HeRoMaRiNE is still pushing across the map, but HeRoMaRiNE's going to go ahead and push in here, Grant. It's looking real ugly for Time.
The Sim City here for Time is incredible. It means Marines have to go through just a couple at a time into tank fire, but the tank has gone down. There's no tanks now supporting this position as they move down at the east side here of the 3rd base for Time. Time is trying his best to make it happen. The tanks are shelling. SCVs pulled off the line. So many dying at both sides of the map, but HeRoMaRinE has too much. Look at the supply. HeRoMaRinE brings it all. He's dropping on top of the tanks. He's closing out the series, and HeRoMaRinE will advance 1st place in Group